This is Professor Joe, your education advocate. Let me share this short story. The Ones Who Walk Away from OMELAS, or the OMELAS story, to discuss your moral perspective. Are you an egoist, utilitarian, or simply Kantian, or some other moral point of view? Ursula Le Guin's story, The OMELAS, is about a utopian town where everyone is depicted to have life in constant happiness. Le Guin stresses that these people are not simple or ignorant, yet they are never afflicted with the worry and distress common in the real world. The town's utopian nature and prosperity are not just for no reason, because residents' happiness depends on the miserable condition of a tiny child who lives alone in a little closet, deprived of love and understanding. Here is the story of this little child. Physically, the child is undernourished and is constantly hungry. The absence of love and care is a necessary condition for the happiness of the people to continue in OMELAS. Every resident of OMELAS must know and see the child's condition at one point, usually during their early teenage years. Everyone must know that their happiness was from the child's miserable existence. The people of OMELAS know that their utopia would fall apart if this small child were not utterly deprived. Anyone who would help to love and care for the little child will stop the utopian life for the people in OMELAS and make their lives miserable too. This is where the dilemma of people arises. Some people, young and old, left OMELAS and never returned. They initially feel sympathy for the child, but then this grows into a sickness that overcomes them. Some people decided to leave OMELAS with a strong human emotion that they could not live a utopian life with someone, the little child, being compromised. That emotion is guilt. With guilt, a person cannot be happy. Therefore, the people who experience guilt face a problem and must do something to solve that problem. So some people walk away from OMELAS, doing nothing for the sake of the happiness of others in town. To leave the town would mean self-sacrifice for the benefit of OMELAS. To stay also would mean self-sacrifice for the benefit of the community. Others wanted to leave OMELAS with the child with them, knowing that the town of OMELAS would forever change and lose the utopian privilege. Doing nothing would be impossible because one cannot stay in OMELAS unless one is perfectly happy. It is certainly not an easy choice. In the story, everyone walks away, leaving the town intact, and doing nothing to the child is an option for the community's happiness. No option in this situation is without flaws. If I were in OMELAS and had knowledge of the child, the same feelings of sickness and disgust would come over me as they had the others when they were forced to view the filthy and the situation of the child living alone in a closet. At first I would imagine an initial shock as the others had experienced. Then guilt would set in, and I would be forced to choose. Some seem to deny that guilt, thereby remaining in constant happiness. Others are overcome by guilt, but they feel that helping the child, though ruining the perfect town, would be better than doing nothing. However, the dilemma is real and authentic for the people of OMELAS. What would you do if you were a resident of OMELAS? Some reflections questions. 1. After reading the story on what happened in OMELAS, you can start reflecting on your life as a resident of OMELAS and assume that you are writing about your life in OMELAS entitled My Life at OMELAS. You experience the utopian privilege of happy people, but sacrifice the child's well-being. Share what life would be like in the town of OMELAS. 2. Describe your feelings when you found out that the miserable situation of the little child caused your happiness. Were you sad, happy, mixed feelings, etc.? Through your feelings, identify the moral perception you have in this narrative. Are you concerned more about your happiness, egoistic or self-centered, meaning that so long as I am happy, it is okay? Or are you a utilitarianism, other-centered morality? You feel happy because everybody is happy, even one deprived child who lived in the closet miserable? 3. What will you do if given a chance to change the whole situation? 1. Leaving OMELAS by doing nothing and keeping the town intact with its status quo. 2. Help the child because it is wrong to have anyone deprived and unhappy for others to be happy. Support your decision as to why you want to stay or leave OMELAS. 4. Reflect on what is happening in real life every day. Are there people sacrificing for us? Are we experiencing utopia also every day, that the sacrifice of others is our happiness? Comment and tell us your story. Thanks for watching. Please support my advocacy. Subscribe, like, and share my YouTube channel.